If you are anything like me and are just thinking, women really can pee standing up. Yeah, you got a home here. Welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors, this beautiful outdoor playground of the state and nation world that we live in. They can. Women can pee standing up, and we're going to get into that shortly. No lie, we're going to get into that. It's going to be a thing. So, yeah, not kidding. Yes, it's a thing. Anyway, yesterday, if you remember, I had started a kerfuffle. Over the past couple of months, I have been on the side of, I think it's crazy to eliminate the ability for critter groups to auction commissioners tags. It was banned, and I think it's silly to ban it. That was just because there was no system in place. And the people that agree with me, the critter groups that agree with me, seem to have had an issue with what I had going on, what I was saying on air. I had Commissioner Guggenauer on, and it was great having him on. I was being respectful. I didn't agree with him, but I was still being respectful. And apparently that in itself fired a few people up. So then I get a text from a very prominent member of our conservation community here in Arizona. And I felt, I'm kind of in trouble. What did I do wrong here? We're all on the same team. So I call him up. And it's like, yeah, why is everybody throwing shade at me? He's like, not throwing shade, man. It's just that, we want you to know, we, the group of people that are still on my side, same thing. I'm on their side. We want you to know the whole story. We want you to know the whole history. And I said, okay, I'm all ears. Just like yesterday when Montana had that raffle that made more than the auction tag. I said, I'll listen. So of course I'm going to listen, especially the guys on my side. That's easy to listen. What's happening? Oh, Lake Pleasant, Eddie. What do you? Are you out there fishing? Love that. I'll listen. So I listened, and I got an entire history of things that are just absolutely crazy to hear. Just the history of how these organizations started and different conservation groups started, and how they disbanded and started again, and then they want it this way and those want it that way. It was just interesting. I mean, we all went from Mule Deer Org to Arizona Elk Society, from Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation to Bighorn Sheep. It got a whole history. It was neat. Didn't change my opinion. I still have their opinion. But my opinion is, even knowing the entire history, knowing what's going on, here's where we are. We have to figure out a way to do this. We have to figure out a way to make up that money that the auction tags were bringing in. And we just have to find a new way to do it. We didn't have a new one in place. So that's the scary part of the whole thing, is we didn't have a new one in place. So we are going to keep you posted on that for sure. But I think the positive news is I wasn't in trouble. Yeah. Yeah. When taking smoke from these guys, they just wanted me to know the whole program. And something, there's a reason why. And I told him this. I said that there's a reason why I didn't have that side on the show, because this show is on that side. So it just seemed very okay, and I didn't want there are things, there are moving parts to this that I haven't seen. So I'm just going to say, this is how I feel about it. It's my show. I'm going to talk about it, and I don't need somebody else on the show that has the same opinion. I was told this when I first started in radio with Michael P. Whiny Weinstein, and it was the Mike and Whiny show. And I started in radio, and I was told, if you guys, because we're very similar ideologically at the time, we're doing political talk. And I was told, if you both agree on everything, we don't need one of you. Dang. Said nobody wants to hear everybody on air agreeing on everything. It's two people saying the same thing. That's two salaries. We only need to pay one person then, if everybody's going to agree on everything. So I've learned that if we are on the same page, agreeing on all things, big out there camping for 2 weeks. My man, West Side, Lake Pleasant, West Side. Hopefully you do some fishing out there. If not, buddy, just grab some cut bait or some at the hookup. Grab some cut bait or some chicken livers at the store and do some catfishing. I hope you're doing some catfishing. There's really good catfishing at Lake Pleasant. I always enjoy being out there. My man Slavo Salt He took off early this morning for the rim to rim to rim of the Grand Canyon. Yeah, he's doing it. He's doing the big boy. He's doing the big boy hike today, all day, all day. And an interesting conversation with him because he's one of the most competitive, most driven people I've ever known. And I'm telling you, yeah, in the plane, good, Eddie. I love that. But he's Slavo's one of the most competitive and driven people I've ever met. And he was talking about his hydration because he'd heard our show on hydration, and he was talking about what he's got and what he's carrying. And he said, if I get to a certain point, I'm dropping all water and hard charging back. Slavo, classic Slavo. But he knows his limits. He does push. He pushes very, very hard. He's a Peloton like lunatic. So the guy's in great shape. He's going to make it. So we're wishing him the best, and we're hoping for a safe return home. And get over to Slavo Salt. What's up, Lynn? Get over to slavosalt.com. Use the code GOSHOW. We'll take care of your taxes. How about that? Let's take care of some tax on that. I'm cool like that. You know me. I hate government stuff. I hate government expansion. So if I can take care of your tax for you, I got you, boo. Ha! All right. So this is a interesting time of year in Arizona because we're now entering summer. Because we have first fall spring, and then winter, and then second fall spring, and then winter, and then real spring, and then blazing Hades hot. That's how we do it here in Arizona. So we are getting into blazing, bleeping hot Arizona right now. The mornings are still cool. I love that. And talking about fishing and things like that. Great time because the mornings are fantastic. I get out early, and if I got to go anywhere, the windows are down. I'm taking full advantage of this because I know I have 3.5 months of where I can't even think about, even at 5 a.m, keeping my windows down and being comfortable in the truck, right? So with that, in Arizona comes the our little pals, the death ropes. Yes, our little snake pals. They're out there and on the trails, and if you're Eddie out there, even in Lake Pleasant, they're out there lurking around as well, and donkeys. If you haven't been out to Lake Pleasant, good grief, expect to be serenaded at night by hee-haw. That's my donkey. Anyway, but that is anyway, completely off to the side. Sorry about that. The death ropes are out. The snakes are going to be around. And here's something I learned that I think is very valuable in my outdoor world. And I want to share this with you because I think it's cool. I think it's important. How to identify whether a snake is venomous or a snake is not venomous. Here's how to do that, right? And this is an easy way to remember it and know it has nothing to do with the eyes. Because if you're trying to ID a snake, whether it's venomous or not, by its eyeballs, you're probably too close already. Okay? Every snake out there in the desert is poisonous. Let's just leave it at that. Let's just say, venomous. They're all venomous. Okay? Every snake in the desert is venomous. That's how we're going to treat them. Even if they're not venomous, we're going to treat them as venomous and just leave them the heck alone. That's what I'd say. That's the easiest way to protect yourself in the desert against death ropes and venomous death ropes. That is to treat each and every one of them as if they want to kill you. Just stay away. Yeah. Solve that problem just like that. Yeah. I used to, y'all, I know it. I used to do it. I used to grab snakes. I used to think it was the most fun thing. I thought I was Steve Irwin and I would just grab snakes. And I stopped when I realized, looked over, and I saw a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old playing in the grass. And I'm like, well, you know what? Those are my kids. I guess I shouldn't get bit. Let's just treat every snake like it's going to kill me. And then I started calling them death ropes after that. So when you get into the mind's eye of snakes and you know them and respect them as death ropes, guess what? You're not going to have any problems with snakes. Now, if you are going to truly protect yourself, if you're staying on the path, you're staying on the hiking trail, whatever it is, staying on the road, you're most likely going to be able to see them very easily. It doesn't mean they're not coming on the trails, because they do come on the trails. They do come on the roads, and you're going to be able to see them very easily. Identify them as great. If you are going to be taking off of the road or off of the trails, snake guards. I know, kind of a pain in the tuchus, but every September 1st when I'm out there dove hunting, I'm wearing snake guards. And I'm wearing snake guards because I'm going through these bushes, and they're still out there. It's still warm. I mean, September 1st in Arizona is hot. And September 1st, for those who don't know, is the opening day of dove season each and every year. Should be a holiday. Dove season is warm here in Arizona. The first dove season is warm. Second dove season is in November. It's nice and cool. Don't have to worry about the death ropes. But when you're out there, I'm wearing snake guards. And snake guards are for lack of a better way of putting this, a very light version of catcher shin guards. Like if you're a fan of baseball like I am, you'll know the catcher's gear with the chest gear and the helmet and the mask and the shin guards. Basically, you just strap them to your shins, and you're pretty darn well protected against where a snake is going to come bite you. Okay, and so that's super 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 important. If y'all know me, you know I'm a huge dog fan. I love dogs. I just love dogs. Huge fan of dogs. I have a dog tattoo. I'm getting more. I love dogs. So I want to talk about this as the temperature's changing. We're getting outdoors and doing our thing. I want to talk a little bit about what we need to do when we like Cowboys chaps. Not like Cowboys chaps. That's funny. I'm not saying, I'm not either confirming or denying that I have chaps. Not even gonna go there. Just not. No, just kidding. So no, Lynn, it's like it just covers the bottom of your shin. It straps to the bottom of your leg. That's it. It just goes around and protects your legs from the big the venomous teethies. And remember, we are always going to assume each of them have the big teethies called fangs, and they're full of venomous stuff that can kill you. And just keep doing that, and you're all good. Okay, so no man, the donkey's got your trash, Ed. That's freaking funny. Donkeys are no joke, man, and they're protected like the horses. So the whole feral horse problem that we have, the same donkeys are. But donkeys are the population is pretty good, pretty solid, but still they're protected along with the horsies. Let's get back to the doggies, shall we? If you're going to go hiking, you're going to trail running, whatever you're going to do, and you always take old Fido with you. Oh, that's so fantastic. Yeah, don't. Let's just say don't. Let's keep it safe. But if you're going to, I understand that, because I want my doggies to do everything in the world with me, and I think it's probably how we should treat our dogs. Anyway, there's rules to the road here. As it's heating up and it's not really to 100 degrees yet, here's the rule I follow: is you take the back of your hand and you just kidding. You take the back of your hand and you put it on the sidewalk, and if you can hold it there for 10 seconds, then it's cool for your dog to go out there and just cruise around. And don't be putting those stupid booties on the dogs, man. Dogs doing this like a cat getting out of a tub, man. They hate that. Don't put clothes on a dog. I'm telling you, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of clothing animals. I'm really not. Unless it's a little monkey, and I love watching them in the movies and the TV shows and the little suits and whatnot. Cute as hell. You got me. Seriously, I will stop the channel. Remember, E-Trade was doing those baby commercials and they were talking like adults? I'll stop on that every time. I think it's the funniest thing. Monkeys and talking babies are hilarious. Wet babies are gross. I have two children. I had to bathe the babies. I just thought a wet baby was the weirdest looking alien-like thing ever, and I couldn't handle it. Anyway, get back to the dogs, Mike. If you can hold your hand on the cement, on the back of your hand on the cement for 10 seconds, then you're good. The dog can just go out there and cruise around and have a good time. But if you can't, leave the dog at home. Period. Oh, but I kind of hosed down that. Nope. Oh, he was all wet out there. He's great. You understand, they don't sweat like we do. It's not easy for them in the heat. And I will tell you this, the dog, it does not matter how hot it is outside. The dog will go with you. Doesn't matter if you're going off the trails and being silly and taking your chance with the death ropes out there, the Diamondback death ropes. They're going to go with you. They're just happy to be with you. They will go through a lot of pain just to be with you. So you're better off. But they bark and they yelp and they don't want to be in their kennel while I'm gone. So I feel bad and I stay home. You'll feel worse if they get bit by a snake. You'll feel a lot worse if it has blisters on its paws. You'd feel a lot worse about that. Trust me, you're doing it right, and you're getting out and doing some. You can have some alone time. It's okay. It's okay to treat yourself with a little bit of alone time. So If you're leaving the dogs you're not going to leave the dogs at home. You're just not going to listen to me. You're going to put those goofy booties on the dog. Get your dog snake trained. There are plenty of trainers out here that snake train dogs, and I will tell you, it is not the prettiest thing in the world. I'm going to warn you right now. It's not. It is bad. It's bad to watch, but it works. So what's worse, your dog getting hit by a rattlesnake or your dog getting zapped a few times, learning that you don't go near rattlesnakes? And there is the type of training is this, just so the rattlesnake training is a thing. Chaps protect cactus from cactus during that. Well, I know, I get that. I get the chaps. I understand what chaps are for, but you're not going to find me in chaps. You're not gonna, that boy's all hat and no cattle. Yeah, no chaps for me. I like the snake guards. It's all good. But anyway, let's get back to snake training. Snake training is tough. So a snake trainer will catch a rattlesnake and it will pop its fangs off. Okay. Don't flip out on me. The fangs grow back, I think, in 10 days or something like that. Yeah, they grow back fully like in 10 days, but they're venomous in like a day or two. Like it's crazy. They lose a fang, it's back. Nature is amazing like that. So they pop the fangs out and then they send them on their way. Okay. So they send the snakes in a certain position, then they send the dog down. The dog has a training collar on. Bzz, bzz, one of those training collars, okay? And that thing is juiced up. That thing is juiced up. And when it goes and it puts its nose on that snake, pop. And they jump, yelp, flip over, freak out, this, that, and the other thing. You know what they're never going to do again? Walk up and put their nose on a snake. Ever. And it's done. And they're happy to get their treats, they get the little cookies, and they're excited, and they jump up, and everybody's happy. Okay. So snake training is super, 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 super important. If you're going to be out in the desert, and especially in this type of weather, snake train your dogs. Again, I understand. It's just the way you have to do it. That type of discipline is the only way the dog is going to. Dogs are curious. They want to play. They see the thing as like it's rattling. It's a toy. It's making noise. What is this thing? I want to go check it out. You got to teach them that's no es bueno. Es no bueno. Yeah. While dove hunting, use gators. Oh yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I'm mobile. I'm that guy. I don't sit a bucket very well in dove season. I'm gonna get moving. Yeah, I'm antsy. I am. I just keep going. People, why are you wearing camo? Because I'm gonna be on the move. Don't worry, I got an orange hat on. I'm good. Now let's get into this. Going back to the doggies. Snake train. Please don't put the booties on them. If you want to test the sidewalk or the asphalt to see if it's too hot for your dog, put your hand back your hand on the asphalt for 10 seconds. If you can hold it there, it's good. If it's very uncomfortable though, but you're like, I can totally do it. It's still bad for the dog. All right. Now let's get to the legalities here. Did you know in the state of Arizona, it is illegal to hike with your dog over 100 degrees? You can get busted in any way, shape, fashion, or form. You can't have the dogs out on the trail. A cop, a sheriff, a game warden, whatever will bust you because they're just as dog loving as I am. Okay. So I see you out there at 100 plus degrees with your dog on a hiking trail. I might lose it. Well, let's be honest. You're not going to see me on a hiking trail over 100 degrees. You're just not. I'm not going to do it. Check out this. This is the second Candy Cooler travel tumbler I have. Look at this thing. This thing's just screaming Arizona, huh? Look at that thing. Get over to candycoolers.com. Use the code GOSHOW, and it's going to get you 15% off your order. So anyway, it's illegal. You can get busted. Healthy fine, serious fine coming up, and I think it's good. Good. That's that to me. You take a dog on the trail over 100 degrees. That's animal abuse. It just is. I call it what it is. I don't care what it is. I hate cats. I hate cats. Loathe cats. Sorry if you're a cat person. I'm just not in any way, shape, fashion, or form. Definitely allergic to this and that. If I see you even out there with your cat, I'm going to get after you. This is mean. There's no reason. There's just absolutely no reason for it. And just no reason. Let's get into something that's very sensitive. Let's get into something that might get me into a ton of trouble. Because I'm a man and I'm going to be talking about a woman's issue. Look, I have been very open for my entire career on radio. I won the genetic lottery. I truly won the genetic lottery. I am a white American male. That is, I mean, there's a lot that goes along with that. and I understand it. I get it. But I didn't ask for it. I won. There we go. I did. I love being a man. I was raised around females. I was my grandparents' only grandson. All my cousins are female, and my sister, and so I've just been around females. I've just been I've been the only guy. So I know what women go through just going through life. Get it, understand it. I'm very lucky I'm a dude. Yay. Okay. So, but not apologetic for it. I mean, I am what I am, and I didn't make me. So when I was asked one time, I think I was asked one time, what can men, what is the name anything that a man can do better than a woman? And I said, pee standing up. Winner right there. Apparently, I was wrong. What I love about camping, what I love about hunting is as a man, we can just go wherever we want. Number one, number two, we can go as whenever we want, however we want, we can just go. Just the desert is our bathroom. Just go. And I know that, and I think it's great. Women can do the same thing. It just takes a little more effort. Men are just in and out, just quick and easy. No big deal. Find a tree. You know, I always say I'm going to look for my golf ball, guys. I'll be right back. And I go to the bathroom. Well, not to the bathroom. I go to the desert. I go pee, and I come back. Apparently, there are not just one or two. There's an entire industry for pee funnels for women for outdoor camping and expeditions and all that, and the like. Did you? I mean, I absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Excuse me. My sister decided to call while I was on air, so I'll go ahead and decline that. I apologize. But and she now I can get to tell her when I call her back. Did you know you can pee standing up? There's funnels for that. So in my research for the show, I came across a piece of literature on the types of the 6 packable funnels to help women pee outdoors. Easier. I'm glad they put easier in there. If you are a woman in the outdoors, going is not always simple. And I understand that. Again, that's why I dig being a dude. It's always simple as a dude. Okay. These things, and so I'm looking at it is exactly what it looks like. The funnel you use, one of these things looks like the funnel, but it's got a little bit of shape. The number one, she said, is the best thing in the world. It's basically just a what I would use to change the oil in the car. That's exactly what it looks like. I mean, they didn't reinvent the wheel when they said funnel. So this thing can. I know I'm being a little bit graphic here, but this thing can go in there and kind of stay in there, and it'll pee right like a man would pee. That's just fascinating. I don't know what I would do. I really don't know what I would do if I was just maybe on a hike or something like that, or I'm out in the outdoors. Really, there are pee funnels, Lynn. And so, but what would you do? If a woman that you're camping with or hiking with or is in your group or you're doing something in the outdoors, maybe you're hunting, and she's like, I gotta pee. And all you hear, zzz, and she's just standing up facing a tree. We have a couple of questions. When you get back, when you're done peeing over there, I got a question for you. I got a question. Yeah, I got a question. And then you know what a pee funnel is, and then you're all good. I didn't know these were a thing. I didn't know. And then hold on. Let's just get to the damn names of these things because it's just absolutely I can't even. Ready? This thing is called the number one according to this list here is the Sani Femme Freshette. I wouldn't buy it just because it's called the Sani Femme Freshette. Came up with that. I like the most packable pee funnels called the You Go Girl. Get it? See, because you go when you got. She Original, Pee in Style, the Tinkle Bell, and Sani Girl. I'd go with Sani Girl or Tinkle Bell on this. Maybe Pee Style. I don't know. It's the most discreet. These are just looking at these things are absolutely. God love you, women. Just God love you. And then what do you do with them? Is what I mean. Like for a guy, you zip up and you walk away. You know, maybe a little if you're a sanitary kind of cat, maybe a little hand sanitizer, and away you go. Off you go. You're good. For woman, what are you gonna do now? You got to bust out some water bottle and wash this thing out? I would hope. Kind of a pain in the tuchus. Wouldn't you just rather just drop your pants and pee like you normally have done like 100 times? Yeah, I think it's a little overkill. I do. Unless you're like on Everest or something like that, and you can't get at anything. You've just got to have this funnel thing hanging out. I don't know. Maybe Everest isn't the best use for it. Yeah, I'm going to say Everest isn't the best use for it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Lynn. It's pee the way God intended you, just to move the pants and squat. I mean, don't get me wrong. If anyone in my crew, anyone tells me, hey, listen, I need a pee funnel, I'm like, I'll be the first to get over to Bass Pro and grab you one. I don't, if that's what you want to do. It just seems a little bit like overkill. Yeah. Yeah. So you carry it around after use. I'm confused with this whole thing. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on that, but that just threw me for a loop. I've seen a bunch of things. I've seen a bunch of crazy things when it comes to peeing. I'm not kidding. There was one it was either called the Stadium Buddy or the Stadium Pal. So this was, and I'm not kidding, something that you attach to your junk, and it's got a hose that runs down to a bag that's attached to your leg, so you can drink more beer and not miss any of the game. I can't make this up. If I made it up, trust me, I would have been patented it already, and I would have just been, I don't know, probably not rich. I don't know anyone who's ever bought these kind of things, but they had them for men and women. I don't really, yeah, it's probably got to be a funnel to a tube. I don't know. This is just all odd. We were meant to go to the bathroom outside. That's how we're designed. It's why mess with nature is what I have to say there. Why mess with nature? Oh my goodness. Hey, tomorrow it is. Tomorrow's FAFO Friday. That's right. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna talk a little bit about those assassins of the sea. Oh yeah. We're gonna talk a little bit about orcas and probably one of the funniest explanations of the hierarchy of ocean living, and that the orca is on top. One of the best videos I've seen. One of the best ways that I've ever seen it explained. Yes. Oh, come on. It's all natural, Lynn. But we're going to have FAFO Friday, so that's going to be a great time. And then, or we're going to do the Expedition Edition. We'll see. The African Safari Edition. We'll call it in the morning and see which way we want to go. And then I'm taking off. I'm taking off next Wednesday to Mexico. Gonna head down with the girlfriend's fam bam and intern Beans. And we're going to have about 5 days of just fun out there. But don't worry, the show will continue. The show will go on. We're not those kind of peeps. We don't mail it in. We don't take time off. We don't take time off. What are we new? What are you, rookies? Yes, just in time for the end. Yeah, Grizz. Now we're signing off. But be here for FA. Hello. How about some coffee? Hang tight. FAFO Friday, which kicks off tomorrow at 11 o'clock right here on The Go Show. Eddie, have a great time out there in Lake Pleasant, and we'll see you tomorrow right here, 11 o'clock on The Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state that we live in. Have a great one, everybody.